Okay, the NHL Draft has happened this year. The Islanders had the first overall pick. It's like, why must the Islanders get the first overall pick? This draft lottery is rigged. Of course, the Islanders selected Matthew Schaefer as the first overall pick. Now, I have two things to say about this. One is that I'm very upset. The NHL Draft lottery is rigged, and the Islanders did not deserve the first overall pick. It sucks the Islanders are going to be great now, and I'm not happy. On the other hand, what a story for Matthew Schaefer. Like, he lost his mother to cancer last year, and he got selected first overall. Like, I know she is not there, but I know she is looking down on him and is very proud of him. As a Rangers fan, I gotta pay him respect for this. Even though he's an Islander, I hope he has a great career. So there were a lot of picks chosen, but what about the Rangers? What did they do in the draft? Well, let's talk about the draft. Things started off well for the Rangers as they had a first-round pick. Wait, they decided to give that pick to the Penguins so they can have the Penguins' first-round pick next year? It would then get traded to the Flyers, and it was used on Jack Nesbitt, who was really good. God damn it, why must Drury get extended? Okay, so the Rangers have no first-round pick, but they start off in the second round. With the 43rd overall pick, the New York Rangers drafted a winger named Malcolm Spence. Just like last year, we start the draft with a black guy. He is actually a really good player for the Erie Otters. He was drafted second overall in the 2022 OHL Draft behind Michael Misa, who was selected second overall by the San Jose Sharks. You know, the team that should have won the draft lottery. He has done well with them, but his best season came recently, where he scored 32 goals, 41 assists, and 73 points in 65 games. He is a point-per-game player in the playoffs and also the Under-18 Championship in 2024, helping Canada win the gold medal, and also the Under-18 Hlinka Gretzky Cup. This guy is a big deal. Of course, he'll play college hockey this upcoming season, but what a start to the draft for the Rangers. To make it better, we had this pick in the beginning, but we gave it to the Arizona Coyotes in 2022 in the Patrick Nemeth trade. The Coyotes would trade that pick to the Avalanche, and we got that pick back by giving up Ryan Lindgren and Jimmy Vesey. Thank God we got that pick back, because this is a steal. Now we move on to the third round. Originally the Rangers had one pick in the third round, but thanks to some trades, the Rangers have two. We originally had the 65th overall pick. It was originally a pick for the San Jose Sharks, but then it got traded to the Vegas Golden Knights in the Tomas Hertl trade. Vegas would then give us that pick and Brendan Brisson to bring Riley Smith back to Vegas. Lastly, we would trade this pick to the Vancouver Canucks for Carson Soucy. And this next one is the pick we got from the Seattle Kraken in the Capo Caco trade. I am still pissed about that trade. Speaking of, when is Seattle going to give Caco a massive extension? With the 70 overall pick, the Rangers draft a defenseman named Sean Barnhill. Barnhill is actually a decent defenseman. This past season in the USHL, Barnhill scored 4 goals, 8 assists, and 12 points in 54 games. He is a +9 and is a 6'5". That is at least something, but he's pretty much a decent defender. Do you want to know why? Because he wasn't projected to be this high. the Rangers went off the board. Who were the Rangers projected to be drafted instead of Barnhill? There were many names, including Cameron Schmidt, 78 points and 40 goals, and L.J. Mooney, who was a point-per-game player in the USHL. Seriously? We got a third-round pick for Kakko, and this is what you do with it? Unless this becomes a steal, the Kakko deal somehow got worse. Jesus, Drury, you couldn't have failed the trade harder if you tried. The Rangers originally were going to select 75th overall, but then we traded it to the Arizona Coyotes in a three-team trade to bring in Patrick Kane in 2023. That pick would then get traded to the Detroit Red Wings for Olimata. But then we got another third-round pick. That pick originally belonged to Toronto, but it would be traded to the Anaheim Ducks. Then we would get that pick in the Chris Kreider trade. I still can't believe he got traded. More details in another video. And with this pick, with the 89th overall pick, the Rangers went off the board again and selected another defenseman named Artyom Gonchar. Before you say anything, yes, he is the nephew of former NHLer Sergei Gonchar. However, he is not as dominant as his father, as this past season in the MHL, Artyom Gonchar scored 7 goals, 18 assists, and 25 points in 50 games. Another decent defenseman. I don't know who we could have gotten instead of him, but at least we got a relative of Sergei Gonchar. That's at least something. Now we move on to the 4th round. The Rangers originally had 3 4th-round picks, but all of them were traded. The 104th pick was traded to the Ducks in the Chris Kreider trade. The 107th pick was traded to the Blackhawks in the Patrick Kane trade, and the 126th pick, they got it in the Nils Lundkvist trade. Then it got traded to the Kraken for Alexander Wenberg, and it would then get traded back to the Stars for Mason Marchment. So it looks like we got no 4th-round pick. Or so you think. The Canucks had a 4th-round pick, but they traded it to the Avalanche for Eric Brandstrom. And we would get that pick in the Lindgren and Vesey trade. And with the 111th overall pick, the Rangers drafted a centerman named Mikael Eriksson. Eriksson is a player from Norway. A Rangers player from Norway. Why does that sound familiar? And he is really good. This past season in the J20 National in Sweden, Eriksson scored 22 goals, 21 assists, and 43 points in 40 games. This guy is a point-per-game player. A Norwegian who scores a lot is with the Rangers. Does that sound familiar? And he is apparently one of the massive steals of the trade. That is really good news for the Rangers. Can he be as good as Matt Zuccarello? Only time will tell, but we are getting good players now. We now move on to the 5th round. This time, the Rangers have a draft pick of their own. With the 139th overall pick, the Rangers select a defenseman named Zeb Lindgren. Before you ask, no, he is not related to former Ranger Ryan Lindgren. Last season in the J20 National, Zeb Lindgren scored 4 goals, 15 assists, and 19 points in 38 games. Pretty impressive numbers. Now the Rangers had another 5th round pick that we got from the Wild in the Ryan Reeves trade, but then we traded that pick away to the Penguins for Riley Smith. Sounds like defense is the game for the Rangers in this draft. We now move on to the 6th round. The Rangers originally had one, but then we got another one in the Capo Caco trade. This pick is that pick. With the 166th pick, the Rangers select the winner named Samuel John. Not much is said about him, but his stats offer a lot. This past season with Finland, John scored 22 goals, 10 assists, and 32 points in 44 games. Impressive numbers. The Rangers pick in the 6th round again, this time with their own pick. With the 171st overall pick, the Rangers select yet another defenseman named Evan Passmore. This past season in OHL, Passmore scored 3 goals, 8 assists, and 11 points in 62 games. He is a 3rd-pairing defenseman at best, and he doesn't pass more. Ouch. But we have one more pick left, and it's in the 7th round. With the 203rd overall pick and final pick of the draft for the Rangers select, you guessed it, a defenseman named Felix Farhammer. Last season in the J20 National, Farhammer scored 3 goals, 18 assists, and 21 points in 43 games. It is decent, but he is a plus 25. Plus 25! Really good defense! And those are all the players the New York Rangers drafted this year. It is a bit underwhelming as only a few are really good. We did get a lot of defenders, which in hindsight makes sense. I understand that logic, but if you wanted defense to be better, you should be getting rid of Keandre Miller and Carson Soucy, extend Zach Jones, maybe even bring in Vladislav Gavrikov. I would say get rid of Borgen, but that ain't happening. I wish we could have done more in this draft, but this is the best we can do. But what we should worry about is free agency. Will Cooley and Zach Jones are still unsigned, and Keandre Miller is still here for now. I'm really scared the Rangers are going to screw this up, especially if they let Cooley walk. I'm so scared. Seriously? Zach Jones is not getting qualified? You're just gonna let Zach Jones walk? You're gonna replace Jones with Keandre Miller? God damn it, Drury!
Time winding down here in the first overtime period. Coase winds in. Coase spins back at center ice. Spence takes the puck away from him. Malcolm Spence working in. Scores! Malcolm Spence, the overtime winner, with 7 seconds left in the first overtime period. And Canada wins it 3-2.
The first thing you see is the speed. How about the patience of Malcolm Spence to push Malona? He can't match the speed of Spence. He can't get across, and then opens him up and puts it right into the top part of the net. Just a fantastic play by Malcolm Spence. 7 seconds left in the first overtime.
Still 16 years of age. Doesn't turn 17 until September 22nd. And Canada has gold again at the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, back-to-back, going back to last year. And Malcolm Spence, star for Erie in the OHL. He was the 2nd overall pick in the OHL draft in 2022.
And that's the speed. You know, as you're coming in at him, and Malota cannot back up enough to close down the net, and the patience of Malcolm Spence to open it up